Well, hello there. It is just 25 days to go before the country heads to the general election. And if you're just joining us, our very own Andrin Kilemi and Elizabeth Mutuku are currently in Machakos County moderating the Machakos gubernatorial race debate. You don't want to miss that. I will be linking up with them right ahead of these broadcasts. But first, let's have a look at what made the headlines today.
Tonight,
the court battles we had, the IBC cases we've been having, and I want to repeat myself, we thank God for this big victory, because this to us is like victory already.
Mike Sonko officially cleared by IEBC to vie for Mombasa gubernatorial seat.
Tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mtapangia hawa majamaa waende nyumbani ama watabaki watakwenda nyumbani? Tutawaweka kwa wheelbarrow waende nyumbani.
Also tonight, Kenya Kwanza leaders take their campaigns to Narok and Kisii counties.
Wale vijana wote ambao wanahangaika hapa hakuna kazi, wangekuwa wanafanya kazi nyingi zaidi. Tukienda pale sisi, maana sisi ndio tulichora hiyo mpango, tutaanza kutekeleza mara moja.
As Azimio, one Kenya leaders woo Mombasa residents.
So he requested me to do the form and give to the friend.
Plus, Migori clinical officer now says he forged X-ray forms for a suspect implicated in Sharon Otieno murder case.
Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Eric Munene. Our sign language interpreter for this broadcast is Minimbesa. Now, Africa 100 meters champion Ferdinand Omanyala has departed to take part in the World Championships in Oregon, that is in the United States of America. Omanyala was doubtful for the World Athletics Champions after his visa was delayed by the American Embassy. However, the star sprinter left the country with less than 24 hours to the competition. And speaking at the airport before his departure, Omanyala said that he is happy to finally depart and remains optimistic that he will shine in Oregon.
The most important thing is to get there and to get there before the heats, I hope. But if I don't get there before the heats, the federation is talking to the World Athletics, so we hope they'll find something to, solve this. But either way, wacha tufike huko kwanza. An athlete was going through a lot, so this is not an exception. I'm mentally strong, so I'm ready for the race. So long as tufike kwa start line, everything else will be forgotten, and then we'll just pick it up after the finish line.
And of course, we here at TV47 wish him nothing but the best. Now, tonight, the Mombasa gubernatorial race has been thrown wide open after the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, cleared former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko and his running mate Kisauni MP Ali Mbogo to contest. Sonko, who was flanked by jubilant supporters, termed the clearance as a big victory. Pundits say that Sonko's official entry in the Mombasa race poses a threat to Mvita MP Abdul Swamad Sharif, who was seen as a favorite to succeed Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho. Our senior political affairs reporter Apollo Kamau kickstarts this bulletin tonight.
The battle for Mombasa County's 600,000 registered voters has been thrown wide open following the clearance of former Nairobi County Governor Mike Sonko and his running mate Kisauni MP Ali Mbogo to contest in the coastal city. Sonko describing IEBC nod as a big victory.
The court battles we had, the IBC cases we've been having, and I want to repeat myself, we thank God for this big victory, because this to us is like victory already. This is like winning already.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But we are going to campaign. Tutajaribu ku structure our campaign calendar na zile masiku ambazo zimebaki.
With Sonko's legal troubles now behind him, the former governor was quick to dismiss claims his meetings with President Uhuru Kenyatta, Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga, and running mate Martha Karua had a hand in the High Court verdict.
Everybody was silent when Karungo won. Sakaja also won. Well, when it comes to us, my case and my brother here Alimbogo, tunaona watu wanapiga kelele ati deep state imetusaidia, ati Azimio imetusaidia. Please let us not tarnish the name of our good judiciary. Judiciary is very independent.
Sonko's entry into the Mombasa race is likely to upset the region's political arithmetic, considered an ODM stronghold. Sonko's immense influence and fanatical following are expected to make it difficult for Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho's ally and Mvita MP Abdul Somad Sharif to clinch the seat.
Na tunawaambia opponents wetu, hata sikiwa zimebakia siku 26, wanajua Mbogo na Sonko ni kiboko yao. Watch the space. Let them watch the space. The 26 days are more than enough. Even if we are given a week, tutawaonesha cha mtema kuni.
Political observers say Abdul Somad will have a hard time given Sonko has a blessing of the Azimio godfathers, President Kenyatta and Odinga, whom he has struck a deal with to campaign for Nairobi's Azimio gubernatorial candidate Polycarp Igathe, whose ratings have nosedived.
Kumpongeza zaidi Mheshimiwa Mbogo pamoja na governor wetu Mheshimiwa Mike Mbuvi Sonko kwa utulivu, kwa swali mtihani huu ungeleta vurugu, lakini amatuliza nyinyi nyote na ikawa hivyo. Tunawaombea ushindi na utulivu kabla uchaguzi, wakati uchaguzi na baada ya uchaguzi.
Sonko will face off with 7 other candidates, among them UDA's Hassan Omar, whom Sonko is expected to give sleepless nights now that his political and legal troubles are past behind him. Apol Kamau, TV47.
Well, thank you, Apollo Kamau, for that. Now, Azimio One Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga has promised to revive the coastal region's blue economy if elected president. Speaking during his campaigns in Mombasa County, Raila vowed to create employment opportunities for the youth if Azimio One Kenya coalition forms the next government. Patronila Goren with more.
The Azimio La Umoja Brigade pitched tent in Mombasa County. This being the third day of Odinga's campaigns in the coastal region, where he continued to woo voters ahead of the August 9th poll. Odinga traversed through Kengeleni in Nyali constituency, Sabasaba in Vita constituency, Changamwe constituency, and later attended a rally in Bangladesh area Jomvu constituency, promising to revive the coastal region blue economy, investing in the manufacturing industry and the Dongokundu special economic zone.
Tuko tayari kuleta viwanda kubwa ya kujenga vitu kama magari, nini hapa, matractors, tunajenga hapa Kenya. Manake soko ni kubwa. Kwa hiyo utaona kama viwanda vikubwa zinakuja kujengwa hapa Mombasa.
Odinga further reiterated that if elected the 5th president, he will amicably address land historical injustices in the coast region, as well as enhance education and health sectors.
Na uhakikishia ile matatizo yetu ya pwani ambao ni ardhi, na hakika baba atayatatua.
Wewe ndio mtetezi wa wana Mombasa kwa jumla, sio wale ambao leo wanazungumza lugha hii, kesho lugha nyingine.
Atakayeainisha mambo ya ajira, atakayetusaidia ni baba, ni nani?
However, leaders allied to the coalition criticized the Deputy President William Ruto for what they termed as lack of ideologies in running the country.
Kama kuna mtu yoyote amedhulumu mwananchi katika shamba lake, aambiwe kuanzia leo, baba akishinda tarehe 9, tarehe 10, chuma chao kimotoni.
Tunajua maji ya kutua na tunajua maji ya kutembea, na mpango mzima ni Azimio la baba Raila Amolo Odinga.
Similarly, Odinga advised his Mombasa supporters to elect leaders that will enable him implement the Azimio la Umoja manifesto.
MP.
Tomorrow, Odinga will continue with his charm offensive of the coastal region and is expected to tour Kilifi County to woo voters ahead of the next general election. Patronila Goren for TV47 in Mombasa County.
Deputy President William Ruto has urged Kenyans to turn out in large numbers and exercise their democratic rights by voting for the right candidates in the August polls. Speaking during his tour of Narok, Kisii and Nyamira counties, the second-in-command promised to tackle the high cost of living if elected Kenya's 5th president. Paul Kirobi with more.
Deputy President William Ruto today traversed through Narok, Migori, Nyamira and Kisii counties to woo voters ahead of the August polls. Addressing Migori and Kisii residents, second in command promised to address the issue of high cost of living, blaming President Uhuru Kenyatta and his handshake partner Raila Odinga for the harsh economic times currently witnessed in the country.
Ati saa hizi wanatembeza porojo, William Ruto amekasirika. Mimi nataka niwaulize, kama nyinyi mmevunja agenda yetu ya Big Four, mlikuwa mnataka tucheke na nyinyi? Kama mmepandisha bei ya unga, saa hii imefika gorogoro shilingi 200. Walikuwa wanataka tucheke na wao? Kama wamepandisha bei ya mafuta, walikuwa wanataka tucheke na wao?
Sasa ilipofika ya Uhuru, mtu wa William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta akaruka deal. Ule mtu ambaye alimfirisisha akampeleka Hague anaitwa Martha Wangare Karua, wakiwa na Raila Odinga. Sasa hii ndugu yetu anaitwa Uhuru ni kama amerogwa na Raila.
Ruto is optimistic that he will emerge the winner in the August polls, urging Kenyans to turn out in large numbers and exercise the democratic rights in the August 9th polls.
Mtu asiwatishe ati kuna kura itaibiwa. Mupige kura tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. Huyu jamaa wa kitendawili nimeshapatia yeye ilani. Nyie mnanielewa? Kwanza nimemwambia ameanza lukumba ile yake ya zamani. IBC iko na shida. Register iko na shida. Chebukati anipendi.
Kutoka leo mmoja anaitwa null, mwingine anaitwa void na muende nyumbani. Sasa we are dealing with two people called null and void. Nao wawili tarehe 9, mmoja atastaafishwa na sheria. Katiba itastaafisha Uhuru aende Katunda apumzike.
Kwa hivyo wakitaka kujua opinion poll, wajua opinion poll ni athira wa Kenya. Ni wangapi wanasema mzee wa kitendawili aende nyumbani? Tuweke Wilbur aende nyumbani. Aende Bondo.
Kisii County has 637,010 registered voters. Nyamira County 323,283 registered voters, while Migori County has 469,019 registered voters that Raila and Ruto are seeking to consolidate ahead of the August polls.
Any vote to Raila is a wasted vote. It's a vote to the opposition. Kwa hivyo nyinyi najua wazi mnataka muwe ndani ya serikali. Mnataka muwe ndani ya serikali hamtaki.
According to the latest research poll by TIFA, Raila enjoys 58% support in Nyamira County, while Ruto's popularity was rated at 26%. In his campaign rally, the second in command promised to revive the economy in the country, create employment among the youth, and also boost the small-scale traders. DP is expected to tour Uhuru's political backyard, Kiambu County, tomorrow to solidify his votes. Paul Kirobi, TV47.
Well, that story there by Paul Kirobi takes us to a fast breather. Don't go away, we'll be back with more.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Generation inakuja ni sisi tunalidi nchi.
Justina Wangui wa Mae, Roots Party of Kenya.
Ukiitwa deputy itika.
Martha Wangari Karua, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party.
Tungetaka tuseme wa Kenya wameamua.
Rigathi Gachagua, UDA.
We are coming to bring in change.
Ruth Wambui Musheru, Agano Party. Battle of the Deputies. The Deputy Presidential Debate live on the 19th July 2022, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Namaste. Advaita Sarva Bhutanam, says Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Means love all. Loving all is full expansion to our true potential. In this spirit, we appeal to all Kenyans to mind and love each other despite our various differences. We appeal to all our congregants, devotees, keenly scrutinized aspirants, to determine who will best serve the people of Kenya. Viyagosi Vene Maadili Ashantini.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has assured Kenyans of a credible and free election, saying its officers are up to the task. This as IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati refuted claims that the credibility of Smartmatic firm contracted to provide technology support during the election is tainted. Here's Joash Ansari with more.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has assured Kenyans of a free and fair elections.
In terms of preparation for the 9th of August, the team has actually done what it ought to do, and the Commission is ready to deliver to Kenyans free, fair and credible election.
During a joint media interview Wednesday, IEBC CEO was pushed to explain the credibility of the Smartmatic firm that is responsible for KIM's technology over claims that the firm tampered with election results in some countries.
The procurement process was actually done above board. It was actually an open tender. Okay. And there is a committee that was actually appointed by myself as the accounting officer to do the evaluation of this tender. They are the same committee that are also responsible for doing due diligence.
Further, IEBC has affirmed that it has not and will not be compromised on its constitutional mandate, promising to deliver credible elections.
IEBC, the one of today, the one you see, is independent, is not answerable to any individual or authority. We do our work in accordance with the law. We are only answerable to the constitution and the laws of the land, and that's how we have operated.
Watu wengi ambao watapiga kura ni wale watu ambao tunawaita mama mboga, ni wale wa chini ambao pengine hawafiki na information ambao tunawapelekea. Kwa hivyo sisi tunajaribu kwa sasa kuhakikisha kuwa zile information ambazo nzuri zakana ziwafikie zinawafikia.
The Commission has promised to conduct a simulation exercise early next week for the KIMS kit that will be used during the August 9th general election.
We had a simulation which failed, Chair. Okay, I can't say it failed. It was not to the expectations of the stakeholders. And then we have worked on around it. We took feedback from the stakeholders, and we are going to have another simulation, I think, sometimes this week or next week.
Yeah, next week.
Early next week.
We're talking about two systems that needs to be tested. Which ones are they? Results transmission and identification. Okay. During verification, when actually we provided this opportunity to people for them to go and verify their details, which systems were we using? We were using the new system, and therefore we provided opportunity. It was tested, and actually it was working because guys were going there and they are verifying their details. What was remaining was only the results transmission.
On whether the Commission is united following reports that cracks have emerged between commissioners, IEBC CEO Hussein Marjan and Chairperson Wafula Chebukati rubbished the claims, terming them baseless.
Dispensations from outside that perhaps may not be within my knowledge, but what I know is we make decisions, we move on, and that's how we are going to deliver the election.
Joash Ansari, TV47, Nairobi.
Our Interior Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, has assured development partners of a smooth power transition. Matiang'i has told development partners that there is no cause for alarm, saying that they have put necessary measures in place to ensure seamless handover after the August 9th general election, when Kenya is expected to inaugurate a new president. Here's Micah Gongo with the details.
Speaking during a Development Partners and Government of Kenya roundtable meeting in Nairobi Thursday, Matiang'i said his ministry has stepped up in its engagement with other stakeholders to deliver a peaceful and secure election, saying the preparations commenced a year ago.
Has been one of the features of President Kenyatta's administration, maintaining an open transparent, accountable engagement with our development partners.
The CS is confident that the security are up to task and will face any challenges presented to them, including political intolerance, negative ethnicity, and hate speech.
We will do everything it will take and everything under the law to ensure that we fulfill our constitutional mandate and our obligations under the law, namely to ensure a peaceful, a stable country.
Development partners maintained their continued support to election stakeholders and security department. 25 days to March anticipated general election.
Not only a convincing presentation from the side of the government, but also a lot of very practical examples of how the country is prepared to make sure that the elections can be safe, secure, open, and peaceful.
Matiang'i, however, assured development partners that the government has put necessary measures in place to ensure a seamless handover after the August 9th general election, when Kenya is expected to inaugurate a new president.
Our democracy has come of age. The people of Kenya want a peaceful election. They desire a peaceful transition of power, and they desire continuity so that we can have a stable country and a stable economy.
In line with President Uhuru Kenyatta's directive, cabinet secretaries will present their handover notes in readiness for the expected change of guard and in appreciation for the need of continuity in government by the end of the week. Matiang'i was accompanied by other senior government officials, including Attorney General Kihara Kariuki, Deputy Inspector General Edward Mpogwa, and ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru, among others. Thereafter, Matiang'i headed to Kikima Secondary School in Mponi, West Makueni County, before proceeding to Kadhiani Boys Secondary School, Machakos County, for the issuance of title deeds.
Sasa mumeelewa wananchi, mtu asikuitishe hata ndururu. Mwambie Uhuru Kenyatta alisema pesa ya bajeti imelipia title deed.
According to the government, more than 6 million title deeds have been issued in the last 9 years, compared to 5 million issued in the period before and after independence to the year 2013. Early this month, President Uhuru Kenyatta directed various ministries to complete the issuing of 1 million title deeds in 3 weeks.
Kwa hivyo inamaanisha tusimamishe kazi zingine zote tunazofanya, tuanze kutoa hizi title deed. Hapa Machakos tunatoa 43,000. Lazima zote zitoke nje.
Mike Kagwango, TV 47, Nairobi.
Now, human rights defenders under the umbrella Civic Freedoms Forum have castigated Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i and Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho for campaigning for Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance, despite them being in charge of the country's security. According to the forum, the move is eroding the trust Kenyans have towards the entire electoral process. Chepto Boyd with more details.
Right groups in the country under the umbrella Civic Freedoms Forum have today criticized Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i and his Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho for allegedly campaigning for Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance candidate. According to the forum, the two are in charge of national security and should not be seen taking sides, as this erodes the confidence Kenyans have towards the electoral process.
So we would like to call upon those in charge of security, especially during this final days of the campaign, but also during the counting and announcement of results, that they must, by all costs, take a position of impartiality. Our police officers, over 100,000 across the country, plus the prison officers and KWS will be deployed to protect us, must be clear that they are applying the law equally, regardless of our political orientation.
So basically, the government infrastructure does not respond to the legislative framework that is in place to allow Kenyans to access information held or from the state. For example, until now, we do not have access to the SGR contracts. Nobody knows what happened.
The forum has further raised concern on the level of electoral preparedness in the country, citing inadequate training and trained police officers, urging the government and police service to ensure they are trained on handling crowds to avoid brutal use of force.
We have about 5,000 police recruits who are recruited in March this year, who are undergoing training at the police college, and we hear that the plan is to deploy them for electoral security. We are concerned that they might not be prepared enough as police officers because they have not yet graduated.
We are calling on the Independent Police Oversight Authority and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution to investigate and prosecute police officers responsible for disproportionate use of force against protesters and members of the public.
The use of social media monitoring, the techniques and technologies that allow companies or governments to monitor social media networking sites, creates potential for misuse by the government in identifying and targeting certain people and groups in society, including HRDs and journalists.
They have also called on Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai to be fair in the deployment of resources, including finances, and exercise a high level of professionalism during the exercise. With concern being raised on electoral security and inadequate training of police officers, the government has been urged not to interfere with the internet during and after the election. Chepto Boyd, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, thank you, Chepto Boyd, for that. Now, a clinical officer has told the court in Migori that he forged medical documents for one Michael Oyamo, Okoth Obado's co-accused in the murder of Sharon Otieno. Cliff Momanyi told Justice Cecilia Kidhua that Justice Moindi requested him to assist Oyamo make some X-ray forms for chest and hip CT scans while he had not met Michael Oyamo. Sharon Baranga has more.
So he requested me to do the form and give to the friend.
Cliff Momanyi, a clinical officer at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, while testifying in a murder case facing Migori County Governor Okoth Obado and his two assistants, Caspar Obiero and Michael Oyamo, told the court that he indeed forged medical documents after a phone call from his colleague Justus Magati Moindi, who worked at Migori Teaching and Referral Hospital.
So he told me, why were you calling me, or what is it?
He was to do it without meeting or examining the patient. Momanyi told Justice Cecilia Kidhua that Justice Moindi called him to assist Michael Oyamo make some X-ray forms for chest and hip CT scan. The court further heard that even the medical record number found in Oyamo's forged report had been registered to one Fred Maina, who resides in Keroka. Momanyi told the court that he only came to learn that Oyamo was a suspect in Sharon Otieno's murder through news in the TV. He even got in touch with his Migori colleague who in futility tried to reach Oyamo. Justice told the court that Oyamo had approached him with an intention of getting medical records outside Migori Hospital to show that he had been attacked by unknown people somewhere near Kisii.
I was seated, checking through the computer. They were standing behind me. Yes.
Moindi told the court that Oyamo wanted to save his job since he had last lost a lot of money belonging to the governor in the attack. The court heard that neither Justice nor Momanyi ever examined Oyamo. The hearing will continue on 21st July.
Well, that report there was prepared by Sharon Baranga but voiced by Chepto Boyd. Time now for our second breather. Don't go away. We'll be back with more.
TV47, the home of untold stories.
This is our moment, a moment when we want to elect the leaders we want. Our young people, go out and vote. We want leaders who are servant leaders. Kadhalika, wewe mwenzangu, unashiriki dini au imani fulani. Wewe waweza kuwa ni Mkristu, unaenda makanisani, waweza kuwa ni Muislamu, unaenda msikitini, waweza kuwa ni Hindu, unaenda temples. Pia ni nafasi ya kushirikisha jamii nzima. Tunaposwali wakati huu, tuweke madhumuni maalum ya kusali na kuombea nchi yetu uchaguzi wa amani, wa uhuru na wa haki. Asante, iweni na amani na wenzenu.
At Tristan School of Medical Health, Science and Technology, we offer highly competitive courses tailor-made to suit your needs. These include certificate and diploma in theatre technology, medical engineering, nutrition and dietetics, science lab, health records, environmental health science, counseling psychology, applied biology, social work and community development information and communication technology, community health and HIV/AIDS management, health services support, among others. Intake is ongoing. Register now at our Nairobi campus in Nairobi West, around Nyayo Stadium, on 0700-129-536. Our Juja campus next to Jomo Kenyatta University on 0700-000-760. Our Kisumu campus opposite Swan Center, Oginga Odinga Street on 0703-201-229. And Homa Bay campus opposite Makongeni Petrol Station. Tristan School of Medical Health, Science and Technology, where careers come to life.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Generation inakuja ni sisi tunalidi nchi.
Justina Wangui wa Mae, Roots Party of Kenya.
Ukiitwa deputy itika.
Martha Wangari Karua, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party.
Tungetaka tuseme wa Kenya wameamua.
Rigathi Gachagua, UDA.
We are coming to bring in change.
Ruth Wambui Musheru, Agano Party. Battle of the Deputies. The Deputy Presidential Debate live on the 19th July 2022, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now, the government has unveiled a new council to take over operations at the Kenyatta University following the resignation of its Chancellor, Professor Paul Wainaina. Tension is high at the institution following the 1,000-acre land dispute between the university's management and the state, as Elizabeth Otieno now tells us.
Former Deputy Vice-Chancellor in charge of academic affairs at Kenyatta University, Professor Washeke Wanjohi, is the institution's new acting Vice-Chancellor. Professor Wanjohi has served as a professor at Kenyatta University for 32 years and 10 months. As a professor, Wanjohi lectured on plant nematology, research, teaching, networking, and graduate education. She was later appointed as the university's academic affairs deputy vice-chancellor in August 2021. Her appointment comes just a day after the Kenyatta University Students' Fraternity held demonstrations to oppose the unveiling of a new university council and the suspension of Vice-Chancellor Paul Wainaina.
A new council. The council is the one that employs the Vice-Chancellor. After bringing a new council, they appointed another Vice-Chancellor to be an acting VC, who is the DVC today.
The new University Council expected to hold a meeting tomorrow with 6 members expected to attend. Former University of Nairobi Vice-Chancellor Professor Crispus Kiamba is expected to chair the meeting. Kiamba has had a storied career in higher education as well as the government, and at the time of his appointment, he served as a faculty member in the Department of Real Estate and Construction Management at the University of Nairobi. Other members of the new council are Jane Wamoko, Karilas Odumbe, retired Major General Bashir Yusuf, Andrew Nyachonga, and Alice Muita.
It is so unfair that this is going on, and we like to say that we like to know actually from the government how are we going to benefit from all the structures that they're promising to build in this institution.
The 410 acres land row at Kenyatta University was fueled after President Kenyatta called out the university's management for opposing plans to cede part of the institution's land to the WHO to build the 600 million Kenya shillings emergency hub that would cater for its regional operations. A move that has since angered a section of politicians.
I want to advise you, the fact that Kenyatta University bears your family name does not make Kenyatta University your family affair.
Unasimama kwa media kupigana na lecturer ati atakuona uko na siku 30 na utaenda na yeye. Kuna procedure ya kufanya. Kama ni kugawa shamba, lazima bodi ikae chini, lazima consent ipatikane, lazima solution ipatikane. Inaitwa public participation.
We want to suspend the Vice Chancellor for 30 days so that the process of land grabbing will have succeeded before the Vice Chancellor is back within those 30 days. We even don't know whether the Vice Chancellor is going to be back.
The ongoing land row led to the suspension of Kenyatta University Vice Chair Professor Paul Wainaina on Tuesday this week. Elizabeth Otieno, TV 47.
Welcome to the latest in business. Kenyans will pay more for imported smartphones and SIM cards following the implementation of the Finance Act of 2022 that imposed a 10% excise duty on imported smartphones and a 50 shillings excise tax on SIM cards, as Joan Kimani tells us. Well, we apologize for that technical hitch. Now, the National 3-on-3 Basketball League earlier today entered its day 4 of the competition as Kenya teams continue to experience stiff competition from Uganda and Rwanda at the Nyayo National Stadium. Now, the Kenya national ladies team kicked off the day with a 21-5 win over Botswana and 19-9 win over Benin before falling to a 17-20 loss against Uganda, while men's team lost their opening game 18-19 to Benin before beating Rwanda and Botswana with a score of 21-10 and 17-12 respectively. Now, the games will resume tomorrow as 12 matches is set to be played at the Nyayo National Stadium.
You can see the intensity. Playing 4 games in a day, it's really a tough task. You have to prepare mentally. And remember, these are top teams in Africa. So for our players, we are getting the experience of which is going to help us more in future international tournaments that we'll take part in.
Well, this week on this week's edition of The Fact Checker, we have a look at what are the two main contenders for the Nairobi gubernatorial race, that is Polycarp Igathe and Johnson Sakaja said. We are going to be reviewing some of the things that they said. We want to put them into perspective, and I want to say that some of this, or rather this, is courtesy of Africa Check. Now, to the first claim by Polycarp Igathe. The team reviewed the election results for the 2017 general election posted by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Mike Sonko and Polycarp Igathe received 871,794 votes in the 2017 general election and were elected deputy governor and deputy governor. They were elected governor and deputy governor of Nairobi. But during the debate, Igathe seemed to ignore the fact that Mike Sonko made a huge contribution to that by claiming that he was chosen by 869,000 votes, as you're seeing right now on your screen. So the verdict is that the claim is misleading. Then the Polycarp Igathe made another claim. I don't know if it can be projected on your screen right now. But yes, according to the 2021 Division on Revenue Act, the national government allocated 370 billion shillings to the counties as equitable share. The County Allocation of Revenue Act shows Nairobi received 19.25 billion. And in addition, according to the Statement of Actual Revenues and Net Exchequer issued dated 17th June of this year, the County Government's Additional Allocations Act 2022 provided another 39.8 billion shillings to the counties in conditional allocations from development partners. So the total amount provided to the counties was actually 409.8 billion shillings. The same law also provided Nairobi another 153,297,872 in conditional grants from the national government, and further 866,791,499 in conditional grants and loans from the development partners, giving a total of 20.27 billion to the capital city. So the claim by Igathe that the national government sent 370 billion shillings to the devolved governments and only 19 billion shillings came to Nairobi is almost true. Well, there's another claim that Polycarp Igathe also made. He said Kenya Revenue Authority recently collected 2.2 trillion shillings, and 60% of the 2.2 trillion shillings is from industries in Nairobi and workers in Nairobi. But according to a press release by the Kenya Revenue Authority released last week, the tax agency collected 2.031 trillion for the first time in Kenya's history. Igathe's figure is about 170 billion shillings higher than the correct number. The team reached out to the Kenya Revenue Authority to confirm if 60% of its tax revenue collected came from Nairobi. The tax agency referred the team to the press release published online and noted that it does not currently publish breakdowns of tax revenue by counties, so there is no evidence to support that claim by Polycarp Igathe. We move over now to the other candidate, that is Johnson Sakaja, who made another claim. He said that Nairobi City County was receiving 15 billion shillings, but now it receives 19 billion shillings. So how true is that? Now, the team examined the amounts Nairobi City County received from the national government in 2017 to 2018, when Sakaja was first elected, and 2022-2023, the last financial year in which he was a sitting senator. Now, the team found out that in 2017-2018, the county of Nairobi received 15 billion shillings as equitable share, 760 million shillings as conditional government grants, and 2.3 billion shillings as grants from development partners, for a total allocation of 18.45 billion shillings. According to Dr. Abraham Rugo, the country manager of the International Budget Partnerships Kenya office, the only funds available to the county so far in the 2022-2023 financial year are the funds allocated under the 2022 County Allocation of Revenue Act. So this means the county has only been allocated 19 billion shillings so far. So Senator Sakaja is actually correct on the equitable share of revenue in both years, and about 3 billion shillings short on conditional grants in 2017-2018. So the claim was actually accurate. We go back to the other candidate, that is Polycarp Igathe, who said that the Auditor General's report about Nairobi City County disclosed that Nairobi County has a debt of over 80 billion shillings now. Is that true? Well, the most recent reports on the Auditor General's website are for the financial year 2019-2020, and neither report on the county executive or county assembly mentions Nairobi's outstanding debt. According to the county's debt management strategy paper for 2022-2023, dated February this year, the county's outstanding debts were 76.9 billion shillings as of June 30th, 2021. The county's fiscal strategy paper, also dated February 2002, let me take you back there. The county's fiscal strategy paper, also dated February 2022, lists the county's debts at 79 billion shillings as of September 2021. So the claim by Igathe, therefore, is approximately correct. We go back to Sakaja. What claims did he make? Then he said, for the last 3 years, I have been rated the best performing senator in the Republic of Kenya. Is that true? So the team looked into this claim. The scorecards for members of parliament are created by Mzalendo. That is an organization that works to hold lawmakers accountable. The score works by counting the number a member of parliament speaks based on the Hansard. So in 2020, Sakaja had the highest score in the Senate. He spoke 554 times, that is according to Mzalendo. In 2019, the best performing senator was Ledama Olekina, who represents Narok. According to the site, he spoke 461 times. However, Sakaja was rated as the best performing youth in the Senate Assembly with 93 speech counts. He was also rated the top performing committee chairperson in the Senate as the chair of the Senate Committee in Labor and Social Welfare. In 2018, he was rated the top senator, speaking 640 times. He was also the best youth member of parliament. So Senator Sakaja was indeed honored for 3 consecutive years, making his claim have some basis in fact. And the last claim that Senator Sakaja made, it's right there on your screen. He says revenue has gone down to 7 billion shillings. And why is that? He says it is because you're not explaining to Nairobians the services that you're offering. So, according to the Controller of Budget, Nairobi's on-source revenue at the end of the third quarter of the 2021-2022 financial year was 7.3 million shillings. The Nairobi Metropolitan Services was created in February 2020. And during the 2019-2020 financial year, 9-month revenues in subsequent years have been higher than the 7.2 billion shillings of March 2020, contradicting his claim. So the claim by Sakaja right there is quite inaccurate. Well, it is 48 minutes past 9 p.m. Remember, we have the big debate, and that is the Machakos gubernatorial race debate. Our very own Andrin Kilemi and Elizabeth Mutuku are currently in Machakos, and I want to return this to them. Elizabeth Mutuku, if you can hear me, take it away.
Namna bila shaka hizo zimekuwa ni taarifa za TV47 naye Eric Munene kutoka upande ule wa pili wa studio. Lakini upande huu tunaendelea na mjadala wetu kuhusiana na uongozi wa kaunti ya Machakos. Wawaniaji watano wakiwa tayari wamejitokeza kwa ajili ya kugombea nafasi hiyo baada wakiazimia kumrithi ambaye ni gavana wa sasa Alfred Mutua. Na hawa watano wote tuliwaalika katika mjadala wa leo, japo wale waliofika ni wale unaowaona katika ukumbi huu wa Serema Hotel hapa Machakos, na ambapo tunakukujia moja kwa moja kuhusiana na yale ambayo watakuwa wakiwatendea wananchi endapo mmoja wao watapata uongozi wa kaunti hii. Lakini tukikwenda mapumzikoni tulikuwa tunayajibu yale maswala ambayo kutoka kwa mwenzangu Andrin Kilemi, na wale ni wananchi wa kaunti hii ya Machakos walikuwa wameuliza, na zaidi la mno ni kuhusiana na ajira kwa vijana, na ambayo kulingana na yeye mwaniaji wa chama cha Chapchap wa ugavana ambaye ni Francis Maliti, na ambaye kwa wakati mmoja amehudumu kama naibu wa gavana, akiashiria kuwa changamoto hii ya kutafuta ajira imekuwepo, lakini ukosefu huu unachangiwa pakubwa na ukosefu wa fedha na vile vile ukosefu wa zile zinafahamika kama skills ama uzoefu kuhusiana na kazi ambayo wanahitaji, licha ya kuwepo wakati mmoja au mwingine fedha kazi zenyewe zipo, lakini changamoto ya fedha kulingana na mgao ambao unakuja katika kaunti bado ipo kuhusiana na jinsi ambavyo ajira inaweza kupatikana. Lakini akiwa amejibu hili, wale ambao ni gavana, sio gavana bali seneta Johnson Mudhama alikuwa